Hey coin collectors, and welcome to DC Coin World International Coin Channel. And today we're going to take a look at the 1942 US Mercury dimes. We can tell what the mint mark is by looking at the back right here. If there's nothing there, that's a Philadelphia. If there is a D there, that is a Denver mint coin. And then if there is an S there, that is a San Francisco mint coin. The San Francisco dime has two major errors, an upside down S version and a double punched or repunched mint mark S version that are worth as much as $2,000. We'll talk to you about how to identify those later in this video. But if you have the Denver mint coin, this one, or the Philadelphia mint coin right up front before you do anything else, magnify that date, because if you have just the right 1942, it can be worth over $100,000. Even a beat up one like this could be worth $700-800, and that's the 1942 over 1941. So it's this date here, 1942, and sometimes there'll be a 1 underneath the 2. They actually overdated, put the 1942 date on top of the 1941, so always magnify that date. And let's take a look at this one here. Again, we're not seeing it, but it could be either the Philadelphia mint or the Denver mint could have a 1942 over 1941. So when we get these out, every single one, magnify it up and just make sure that there's no 1 hanging on the side there. These coins, their silver value right now for this dime is $5.60. So it's pretty tempting to sell these. You're probably going to get about $3.50 or $4 for it because the dealer has to make money. But before you sell them, make sure you check out the 42 over 41 possibilities. And of course, this Philadelphia pile is none in it. How about our Denver pile? I'm going to check them. There's a 42, nothing. 42, nope. 42, nope. And 1942 is almost misses the 2 on that one. So we don't have any, but what would it look like if you did get one? And look at that 1942 and 41. It almost looks like a 12. It is like a mixed up 12. You know what it looks like? It looks like one of those things you have to solve in order to prove that you're not a robot. You can tell that that is an error coin with your naked eye. And of course, this one's a beautiful one. You're never going to find one this good. This is what we're talking about here. $120,000 for a really good condition one. But you can see even at a 30, these things are worth $800. So if you do get one that's anywhere near this visible, you could be talking about tens of thousands of dollars. Okay, now we're back to our coins. So at Philadelphia, they made $205 million. So lots of money for the 42 over 41 versions. What about the regular coins like this one? It's going to be worth $5+ in silver value. But if you get this at a mint state 68 plus with full bands, it's going to be worth about $12,000. What about the Denver coin? We see the D there for Denver. Without the 2 over 1, you could be talking about as much as $6,500 for a mint state 68 plus and $68 for a mint state 65. And finally, the San Francisco mint. They only made $49 million at San Francisco. But the San Francisco mint coins could be incredibly valuable if you get to a mint state 68 plus with full bands. Of course, we don't have any bands on this one at all. It's all scratched up. Mint state 68 plus with full bands, $60,000. Mint state 65 with full bands, $125,000. And sometimes you need to look at the S also, because once in a while they put the S on upside down. So we'll show you what it looks like, what they call the inverted S, because the inverted S could be worth up to $2,000. Less than 100 of those have been graded by PCGS. And there's also an S on top of an S, which could be worth up to $2,000. And less than 100 of those have been graded also. So look at your S's. If you get any that are in really good condition, they're going to be worth lots of money. But also look at that S and make sure that it isn't upside down or an S on top of an S. Let's show you that inverted or upside down S. on this coin here. And you can see that it almost looks like an incomplete S, but what it is the S itself is upside down. We'll take a look at one over here also. You can see this one looks a little bit better. So the top of the S should be smaller and the bottom of the S should be bigger. And instead what you have is the top of the S is bigger and the bottom is smaller. There's also one more thing you can look for when you're looking at the S, and that's what they call the S over S. It's a repunched mint mark coin. You can see this one here. If we magnify it up, you can kind of tell that it got kind of messy in there in the middle of the S, and that's because there was an S on there and they put another one on top of it and kind of bulked it up. And that coin, if you look here, same thing, kind of really messy in the middle, as if it got struck twice, because of course it did get struck twice. And this one here might be the best of the doubling, the messy doubling right there. And that's clearly an S over S. If you get up to that, again, it's about $2,000. Well, that's all we have today from DC Coin World International Coin Channel. So even though you'd like to sell these for silver value, make sure you check them all out first before you do that, because it doesn't make any sense at all to take a 1942 Mercury coin worth thousands of dollars and sell it for $5 or $6 for its silver value. Thanks for watching DC Coin World International Coin Channel. We'd love to have you subscribe to the channel and leave any comments you have in the comment section.